In the summer of 1987, a quaint working-class neighborhood known as Buttonwood in Warwick, Rhode Island, was frozen in fear. A freshly divorced 27-year-old mother named Rebecca Spencer was spending her final night in her home, having packed up her belongings to start a new life. With her children staying with their father, Rebecca fell asleep on her living room floor in front of the television. She had no idea she was being watched. Through the packing chaos, a back door was left slightly ajar. An unknown predator slipped inside. The following day, Rebecca's body was discovered in a pool of blood. She had been stabbed an astonishing 58 times. With no additional evidence left behind, the killer vanished without a trace, leaving a peaceful neighborhood paralyzed. For 2 years, the case sat completely cold. Then, on September 4th, 1989, a worried mother stopped by a home on nearby Metropolitan Drive. Her daughter, 39-year-old Joan Heaton, hadn't answered the phone all holiday weekend. When the mother and sister unlocked the front door, a putrid, metallic smell hit them first, followed by the sight of blood spatters covering the walls. Inside, they discovered a scene of absolute slaughter. Joan lay dead beneath a blood-soaked sheet in the hallway. Nearby was her 10-year-old daughter, Jennifer. On the kitchen floor lay her youngest daughter, 8-year-old Melissa. The savagery of the attack shocked even the most hardened homicide detectives. The victims had been stabbed over and over again in a frenzied explosion of violence. Joan suffered 57 stab wounds and had been strangled. 10-year-old Jennifer was stabbed 62 times. Little 8-year-old Melissa was stabbed 30 times, and the attack was so extraordinarily violent that one of the knife blades snapped completely off inside the little girl's neck. Her skull had also been bashed in with a heavy wooden bar stool. The FBI was called in to build a psychological profile of the monster in their midst. Profilers noted that the killer had used ordinary kitchen knives found inside the home, suggesting a crime of opportunity, likely a burglary talked into a witness elimination. But the sheer display of overkill suggested the killer knew the victim. Furthermore, the two crime scenes were located only 5 houses apart. The FBI told police the killer was undoubtedly a local resident and to look for someone who had recently injured their own hand during the frantic stabbings. Forensic teams also discovered a blood-soaked sock print in the Heaton hallway belonging to a massive size 13 shoe. Just days later, a local patrol officer spotted a familiar face in a neighborhood park. It was 15-year-old Craig Price. To the community, Craig was a devout Baptist, a talented football player, and a bright student who always scored high on his high school exams. But behind closed doors, a dangerous, violent temper had been brewing. By age 15, Craig had already had a juvenile record ranging from peeping Tom charges to breaking and entering, and police were frequently called to his home to settle explosive domestic disputes. The officer noticed Craig's hand was heavily bandaged. When asked about it, Craig claimed he got drunk and punched his hand through a car window. Police immediately checked the area, but no broken car windows or break-ins were found.